Hello and welcome to another video. So today's video is about making a penny stove. Very lightweight little stove, methylated spirits, great for boiling water. So a good lightweight little stove to take maybe on hikes or quite remote areas. Not necessarily for cooking food on, but yeah, let's see how to make one. So firstly, you want to grab the can. I've got it on this block, just an off-cut of decking that I've got from when I'm making the hot tub surround. Just a little over an inch thick to rest the blade on, and just turn the can into. Just to score it lightly. Keep it at the same level each time. Keep going round, and eventually it will cut through. The good thing about this level is it keeps it at the same level each time. Going around until it pierces the metal. We've got a little helper here. Hello. And as you can see here, nicely cut. Very smooth edge, but I will just sand that slightly, just to take any rough edges off and sharp splinters if there are any. One thing you want to make sure is the Stanley blade that you use is nice and sharp, so preferably a new one. It will cut through it like hot butter. So that's that one done. Same with the other one now. So you can see there, just pushing it. And now pretty much it's like you've crimped it. So same again for that side. So then, obviously same with this piece, just take just to take off any little burrs that may have formed. Don't think this is massively necessary because it's going to seal quite well anyway, but why not? It only takes a couple of seconds. So that's that. Got the two halves, or two thirds, which we don't need anymore. And then the two pieces, which basically will go over each other to make the penny stove. So with one of them, this is where the long nose pliers come in. Just want to really be grabbing a little bit like that amount, just crimping. Just to try and make it slightly smaller than the other one. And they'll slide together okay. This is more just about getting them to slide together easier and form a little bit of a seal. More. So as you can see then the difference. One's crimped around the edge, just pinching it in a little bit, just so they can basically slide over each other like that, but won't be doing that just yet. Just obviously need to do a few other bits. So the next bit really is for the top piece to pierce the holes in here. So obviously let the flame coming out here when it blooms, and we need a couple of little holes here for the penny stove to initially pour the methylated spirit through, get that lit, put the penny over once it's bloomed, and then the fire is just on the outside then, which will feed off the gases, which will should boil the water nicely and heat your pot. So as mentioned, the next would be to pierce the holes. Just a few in the top. Not too far apart, just enough so the penny can cover them, because you need to extinguish this flame once it's lit. So there you go. 5 in the centre. Then I need to pierce holes on the side pretty evenly for the bloom. So I'll go that side and just do opposites really. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And then start filling in between. About a centimetre apart each of them, just so they bloom nicely. Don't have to be that perfectly even, just pretty even. So as you can see there, some nice blooming holes. I'll be back to you once I've done all the rest. Yeah, so there's all the holes, all pretty evenly spaced out, all around the edge for it to bloom nicely. Now, some people glue these together. Some people just slide them because it's quite a strong fit between the two. I think I'm going to put possibly a little bit of super glue depending on the fit. I'll actually put them together, see how tight they are, and if it's not, it's there. Now, just got a bit of the Loft insulation out of the Loft, obviously. Just basically what happens is once you've poured the meths in it, it'll soak it all up and it'll be easier to transport for that. So this is just any Loft insulation, should be enough just to soak it up, and then it can kind of go off the fumes for it. So let's see how that first of all fits over. Yeah, that's a very strong, tight fit. That's going nowhere. Yeah, that's going there. That's on there tight. That's not going anywhere. As you can see, really, really tightly on there. They're the same size, so it's obviously crushing on it. What I might do, I can feel a couple of little burrs of metal there. So if I just give that a quick sand around the edge. Now you could, for aesthetics, if you really want to, sand the edge off and get rid of all the colour of the cans. But I'm not bothered about something like that. All about the functionality and how it works. Making sure it works nicely. There we go. Yeah, no sharp edges now. So basically, yeah. Next steps is just to get the methylated spirit, just any methylated spirit will do. For that, obviously be careful because this is highly, highly flammable. In fact, let's pour it on one of our placemats, just in case I spill any on the table. Just pour a little bit at a time, let it soak in. As you can see, it's spilt a little bit, easier to wipe off the mat. I won't put too much more than that in because this is only really to do a test burn and boiler. Yeah, so I can feel that that's much heavier now. As you can see, there's not really much gone out there. How big is this bottle? 500 ml, probably put 50 ml maybe less. So we'll see how that goes. If obviously that goes out a little bit early, before the water's boiled, I will certainly be topping it up once it's gone out, and then I can kind of get a feel for how much I need each time then, which should be good. And I'll just probably take some out in a little Nalgene bottle, just for a quick boil over brew and done. So yeah, let's go outside now. I don't want to be lighting this inside. Let's go outside and see how that goes. I thought I'd light it outside just to give a bit of a better effect. Just takes a little while to prime itself, and then once it is primed, the gases come on the outside holes. And then you throw the penny in the centre. As you can see now, look, instantly as soon as it's primed it goes. Bit of wind from this side, so if I just shield it, you can see it's primed nicely. Good steady flow. Works a treat. Superb. As you can see here, the plume is going very well. Thought I'd do this in the dark because you can see the flame much better. Really quite a large flame, but it's pennies in the centre. As you can see, just pluming well. Good flame, probably 8 to 10 inches high. Took a little while to start, but once it does get going, it plumes very well. And you just put the penny in, puts out the centre flame, and it just carries on from there. As you can see, it's out. Turn the lights off. Because I've just blown it out, you can relight it quite quickly if you need to. And because it's already primed, it lights quite easily back up itself. But that first time, just to get it primed, takes a little while, but once it does get going, all the gases are coming out. Throw the penny in the centre. Gives off a good flame. The Trangia obviously is a shop bought one, which should prime way faster because it's very specifically designed for that. And the penny stove on the right takes a little bit more warming up. As you see, Trangia already done, very quick to prime. Really efficient blue hot flame. Very close to being primed. But I'm recording this real time so you can actually see how long it does actually take. That's there now. And as you can see, great burner. Once it does, very similar flame. I'd actually say a little bit stronger, possibly flame off the penny stove, then put the penny in the centre, which puts that out and just burns off the flames, off the vapours of the holes on the outside. Yeah, it'll make a difference. I'll put the Trangia out and you can see how well that one's burning, because the Trangia is well known. It is a very good flame, burning high. If you had a pot stand over that, probably 1 to 2 inches high, you get a very good boil on that. Very good boil. Good comparison, I think. Personally, penny stove is a bit of fun. If it were to be very reliable and very quick to prime, I'd use it, but personally I think the Trangia is the one that's easier. If you've got fuel in it, you can reseal the lid and take it with you. You could actually just take it away with the fuel that you need for the whole trip in it, if you're just looking to boil a quick brew, or maybe 1, maybe 2, but you should be able to take enough fuel on that so it really takes up no room. The Trangia, second, it's been off for a couple of minutes. So, as I said, it seems to keep pouring fuel in the top, and there's loads of fuel in there, loads. But it's, once you pour it in the top and it really gets a proper big old flame up there. It's heating up well, but not for me. Let's put the Trangia, there's no need for that to keep going. Yeah, that's brilliant. Cool down now. But as you can see, there's a much bigger flame in the centre now, because there's a lot of just floating fuel in there because it's so full, and that seems to be what primes it way better, because it's really heating it up. But again, it's a bit of a hazard if you're having to almost flood it with fuel to get it going. So as you can see there, great. Once it gets going, it's great. Just a little bit temperamental, I would say. So upon reflection, I think comparing the two of them, obviously, as you could see, the Trangia is obviously tried, tested, been around for years and years and years. You obviously have to pay for it, which I think I got mine in the sale for just over £10, which is pretty good. I think they retail around 14 quid, roughly. But yeah, great stove. I think after comparing them, like I said, I don't think I'll be using the penny stove. It's a great little concept. I think actually it probably burns fuel slightly slower because it's running off the vapours rather than burning completely off the actual fuel and the vapours. However, the Trangia is just so much better. It's almost instantaneous to relight, to prime. It only takes 15-20 seconds. You can keep the fuel in it for if you're going away and just reseal it with the cap. You've got the simmer ring if you just wanted to cook a little bit of food on it as well. The penny stove's good. However, if you're going to take it away, you can't keep any fuel in it whatsoever because it will leak. The only thing that's holding the fuel in is the insulation inside. So if it's slightly damp inside that, it's going to eventually drip out, which is a potential real bad fire hazard, especially if it leaks in your bag. Any sort of spark, methylated spirits really does go off. So it's a good bit of fun. The comparison showing the two, they're very similar burns, but there's no comparison in regards to functionality, how well it works, and for me, there's only the Trangia I'm going to be using. So the penny stove was fun, and obviously let me know if you think your penny stoves have gone really well, if you've made any, because I have seen a few which seem to work quite well, but then people have engineered them so much. The amount of money or time you've put into that, they don't actually come off far the same sort of cost as the Trangia, which, as I said, got it for about 10 quid. And it's guaranteed to work really, really well with a nice sealed lid, which is what I prefer. Because if I went away on a one-day hike, I could take all the fuel I need, seal the lid, take it away with me, so I wouldn't even have to have an exposed plastic bottle of methylated spirits, which is a bit of a potential fire hazard again. Whereas inside the brass container, it's not really going anywhere at all. It's a really solid sealed lid. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Any other things that you would like to see made, because I do quite like making things, especially for camping trips, biking trips, anything like that at all. Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, if you drop me a like and a subscribe, everything will help the channel grow. Obviously, it's a very early infancy of this channel. I think we're only got 29 subscribers at the minute. I'm not all about getting as many physical subscribers because a lot of this channel is about me recording stuff for myself. But if there's anything that you'd like to follow, or camping, hiking, biking trips at all, there's going to be a lot of that, especially in the spring, summer months of next year. But I'll be doing a few over the winter as well. So thanks for watching, and have a good day.